What's up, everybody? I am back with a short video. Something I thought I had it, but I guess I didn't do it. But, excuse me, I'm going to be reacting to a whole mass video about bird hands. And I just after you watch this video, you cannot unsee it. So, definitely check out Whole Mass content. He's an amazing YouTuber, and he speaks all facts, no printers. Uh, he just the level of study through illustration is amazing, and you learn something. It's not just something that he's speaking about feelings. This is about facts and figures and just the statistics. That you will gain something from this. And don't let it trigger you and actually listen. This is he's got great content. So we're gonna be talking about bird hands.
Hey Viv, these mass deportations are going to help out real Americans, right?
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I bet you're wondering how America got here. Well, it all started with bird hands. That's right, America went straight down the tubes as soon as it started letting cranky, dissatisfied women from a 3 to a 6 make these naggy little henpeck gestures on TikTok. I know, it sounds crazy, but let's go back to the beginning. See, a long time ago, people used to understand that women were violent too. A man will just come out in the open and punch you in the nose, but women are small and weak, so they just lie about being victims until someone else does it for them. And that makes all the simps crawl out of the woodwork and do their bidding, like the bugs they are. We used to understand this, and nagging women used to get punished. For other stuff too. This one's called the scold's bridle. It makes it so she can't talk. Pretty crazy, right? But nowadays, women can do whatever they want, whenever they want. And if you so much as point it out, guess what? You're the bad guy. Tell me that ain't crazy. What's all this gotta do with bird hands? Everything. Alright, that was fun. I finally got Ableton working again. Anyway, the Whatever podcast asked, why do they always do the hand thing, referring to this little henpeck gesture that girls have been making with their hands? And I thought I'd bring you the answer. Here it is. So the hand thing that the TikTok girls are doing is the hands are closed and pointed at you. And it means, you better listen to me. I am telling you. Me. This is what you believe now. Me. When you point it at yourself, you get the Italian, like the chef's kiss thing. Oh, I'm telling you, this is so... Look at what I did over here. I did that unconsciously. This is so good, you should try it. The hands closed over here are, I'm sure of what I'm saying, and I receive your needs. You should try this thing, that's great. This is also used in Italian arguments. I told you about that kid. What Trump does is the open hands, double open hands, and he moves them around a lot. I am listening to you. I understand your needs. When the hands are open towards yourself, it means listen to me. I'm begging you, listen to me. Almost like you're doing the open hands for the other person. You would never do this with that. You would never say, please listen to me. I'm begging you. You see how that doesn't match? So the hand signals they're not nothing. They're unconscious. Like if you just let your hands do what they want while you're talking, they'll sort of do some of the talking for you. So the fact that the TikTok girls are all doing this is a bad sign. It means they're at the end of their rope, in my opinion, and they're just going like, do what I want. So that's how women are doing, I guess. And yeah, it's always the women who are falling off the bottom first. It's the ones who are the most susceptible to social change. But these things always spread. They always spread throughout society. Like 20 years ago, everyone said, don't meet anybody from the internet, and now that's all we do, so this might follow a similar pattern. I read a little bit about body language on short form. It's a great resource to supplement whatever you're learning. You gotta pay attention to what people are doing when they talk, and short form can help. Get 20% off with my link. This is my Who is a 10 chart. It explains why women who are not 10s are always saying they are. I also talked about this on the standard female delusion chart. This is how they talk in public, everyone's perfect. And then this is how they talk in private. Them and their besties are way up at the top and everyone else is trash. It's a collective negotiation strategy. The way it works is that the mids and the sub-mids are always gassing each other up and excusing each other's behavior because that's the only way they can compete with the top women who also have to pretend that everyone is beautiful, or else they don't get to be in the little hand-holding group. And that usually doesn't really matter until they all work in human resources. When they're in a unified group, they control access to everything, especially when they convince the male mids to play along, like they're gonna get something for doing it. They never do. The reason this is so dangerous, and we used to throw rotten fruit at them for doing it, is that the hand-holding group only works when they lie. That's how you show loyalty to the group. You tell ridiculous lies, because the bigger the lie, the more you are proving that you'll say anything to be included. It's a token of submission. That's why it's so disgusting when men do it. And that's why everything is so upside down right now. Because when women get power, they don't just say, I'm better at your job than you, like a man would. It's usually not true, too. Instead, they say things like, babies can be pilots too, because if that's true, then that means everyone should be accepted everywhere, even if they're not good enough, and by everywhere they mean only the best places, which is the same thing as saying, I'm a 10. Do you see how it's all connected? Make a demand, and then collectively lie to justify it. I'm a 10 means I am marriage material for anybody. I should get paid the same as someone who can actually do the job. It doesn't matter what I do, it matters what I get, even if I'm not earning it. And someone else can make up for what I'm not doing, even if he doesn't get anything. So then they vote to get, even if they're not earning it. And then when they're getting equal or greater, then they think they're better than you, which makes you icky. And then all the women are looking for a tiny few men. And then no one gets married and has kids, and everyone hates each other. That's why I want you to look for things like the bird hands. This is all about giving instructions. This is what we believe now. And they're trying to make you simp, and you can't do it because you lose. We all lose. Bird hands are a sign of desperation. You don't have to be forceful if you're actually in control. So when you see women doing this, they're saying, this is what you have to agree with or you're not in the club. And you don't want to be in the club. Here's a preview from my new levels chart. This one's easier to read. Video's coming soon. Bird hands are coming from this level. They're trying to control you to get power. Here's a few examples.
Men responding to the chopped man epidemic girl are giving the same kind of energy as the kind of man who would hit on you, and when you reject him, would say, oh, well, you ain't that cute anyway.
Here's the girl she's talking about.
Like, that's a cute girl.
So here's how things are gonna be.
I want to share my thoughts on this chopped man epidemic thing. But here's the thing. The majority of men out there are not putting any effort into making themselves appear attractive to women. I can see people's attractiveness objectively, and even if I'm not personally attracted to them, I can recognize when someone is attractive.
Notice the excessive pecking. She's saying, believe me, even though she knows deep down that she wouldn't see these guys as so gross if it wasn't for the power imbalance caused by her own behavior. This one was political activism, and she knows she's full of it.
If watching families being ripped apart does not appeal to your humanity, let me try and appeal to you financially, because these mass ICE deportations are bad for the economy.
Isn't that the face of persuasion? Don't you want to believe everything she says? Here's one more real quick.
Men always complain that women are constantly nagging. Maybe she's not nagging, and it's just that you keep doing the same thing over and over again. A woman doesn't want to be in the position to act like your mother. Don't put yourself in the position to act like her child.
That's good advice in a relationship, but on a society-wide scale, you voted for equal, which makes you look at men like children. I don't know if you can do the math. Women have to respect men or they don't like us, and they are collectively removing the things that make them respect us. So the problems are not all men's fault. It's like every woman at once is saying, why do you have to breathe so loud? So you gotta watch body language. Bird hands doesn't always mean she's wrong, but it does mean she's talking down to you. Again, look how this doesn't match. Oh my god, you got the job. I'm so proud of you. The only way out of this mess is just don't listen to these lies anymore.
Yeah, it's so godly. Cannot. When he made this video, I could not stop looking, or could not stop seeing that kind of stuff. I think there was like a a woman who responded to that video and got all butthurt about it. I want to bring that video up because that.
I'm gonna stop.
Okay, I think I got it. Technically, this is like a part 2. Like, before I play, guys, please, if you see women doing those bird hands in conversation, do not either take them seriously or just avoid them, walk away, do not engage with them because they are talking down to you. They're being condescending. Or if you see or if you have female relatives or women that you have grew up with and you know them personally and you know they're decent women, let them know. Please do not do this. Guys do not like this. This is very condescending. It is annoying. Do not do this. Try to at least show them this video, but also because it might help, but also let them know this is a condescending move that women tend to do. Avoid it at all costs. Try to, if you catch yourself doing that, try to relax your fingers, stop it, put your hands down, something, because it's a net negative.
Be right there, King. PsychoMath and I are certainly not friends, but we are at least friendly acquaintances. We've spoken offline on this app multiple times.
I count that as one time. Just because I put the phone down, pick it back up, doesn't mean we're talking again. Anyway, this girl tagged me in a video about girl science, which is a rephrase of PsychoMath. She wanted the boost, I gave it to her, and now I'm giving it to her again because I'm generous. It's been over a year and now she's poking me again because I upset her with bird hands.
And maybe I felt personally attacked because I do love this hand gesture and talk with my hands a lot.
Bird hands is my video about this hen peck gesture that girls do. So let's walk through her graceless, ungrateful attack on me so we can learn about why you never help anyone, especially not the modern woman, especially not the TikTok kind. So in order to help people, you have to reveal things, and those things can be used against you. You can see at first our goals were in alignment, but now she's posting the DMs, which is a move. It's not gonna work because they're not bad, but she tried. The story is, she piggybacked on my content, she wanted a response, I gave it, we DM'd a little, and I tried to tell her how to make content. This was a free gift of my time and expertise, and she has now repaid me with insults.
Realize that after everything you've built and everything you've taught and said, you still don't know how to get the job you so desperately need without paying for it.
You should see how much I pay to get away from women who measure people in That's called an argument with holes, if you catch my drift. What I desperately need is to not be in the same room as this. That attitude leads to these relationship failures. You probably recognize them. This is the revealed past. That's where you tell a guy what you used to be like, and then he stops answering the phone. This is the free trial where you offer a low investment to begin with, and then that changes after the "what are we" conversation. I moved 3 times, and I'm about to move again. I can't get far enough away. That's what you don't see in my work. I expose the repellent behavior of the modern woman, which I'm able to do because I've read about things like negotiation, body awareness, and communication, and you can read about them on Shortform, this video's sponsor. Shortform has summaries, audiobooks, and more. You can read about a new topic fast and dive in later. Use my link for 20% off, and then maybe you'll understand how I explain this behavior. She didn't like it, but some women learn from it. Erica used to come across my stuff and get offended, but she could never tell I was wrong. You, on the other hand, got offended and then tried to take me down by telling people I make videos, I guess? I don't know. Let's take a closer look at her bossy lecture.
PsychoMath and I are certainly not friends, but we are at least friendly acquaintances.
Remember, this is what she calls friendly.
The first time I asked him what his goal with his platform was, he told me it was to help angry young men.
Well, I said disenfranchised. That's something that a lot of people have not picked up on yet. You can start understanding the modern woman right there. I said disenfranchised, which means victim, and she said angry, which means villain. She was hoping that you wouldn't notice.
He also explained in that conversation that he understands that the algorithm seemingly randomly gives extremely preferential treatment to divisive content.
None of these messages say that, but I did tell her that, and it's true. People engage more with content that upsets them. It's not random, it's just did you get people or not. This is me posting bird hands, and this is half the women who saw it. But being upset doesn't mean the content is bad or that it's wrong. Notice again, she said divisive content, meaning causes problems. The modern woman is very good at choosing words that make good things sound bad and bad things sound good, like how audacity means asking for respect, and dating a nice guy means fleecing a simp.
And therefore, he has to walk the line between creating enormously problematic takes like this.
Problematic, their favorite word. It means I don't like it, but you can't argue, as if it's science and not a feeling. Just add that while I'm thinking of it.
And maybe I felt personally attacked because I do love this hand gesture and talk with my hands a lot, because it stimulates dopamine in my viewers.
Oh, so you mean exactly what I told you to do. Gotcha.
Not because I lack control, but because having a secondary thing to pay attention to as my words spill out is more engaging.
Yeah, what makes it engaging is that as they empathize with you, they feel that naggy, controlling entitlement.
To get online and say, this is about my desperation and lack of control, it actually transcends pseudoscience.
And there's the science. You cannot divide life into science and false. Science is not usable on topics like this for reasons I'll explain in a later PsychoMath video. Here's a sketch of this is where the science happens, and then everything else here is what gets in between the science and you, and some of it is just fake science. But I don't do science anyway. What I do is I tell people stuff and it works, and then their lives get better immediately. You don't need to study that.
And goes into the realm of you purely just making shit up.
Well, hang on a minute. What I said was that the bird hand gesture is typically accompanied by the you better listen attitude, which is bossy and controlling, which you would not need if you were already getting your way. How's that not exactly what you're doing? So you're doing the thing I accused you of doing while denying it exists, and your arguments are, I must not get late enough, and henpecking has not been studied by the University of Columbia. So observing people and explaining their communication is, well...
And that's fine. That's allowed. What I imagine is actually really difficult and sad for you is having cultivated a base of people who are so stupid that they saw that video and went, "You're a genius! How do you come to your conclusions?"
If you want to call something stupid, first check to see if it works.
And you realized you didn't have a single scientific article to link women doing bird hands to them being desperate for power. Desperate for power.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can explore the neighborhood or live like a local.
Well, I guess I'll have to wait for Harvard to tell me what you wanted when you made this video. Here's some science anyway by Ping Yang of Western Sydney University. Females may also use fingers pointing to imply blame or criticism. Girls point earlier than boys. Children point at objects for which they do not yet have words. And that's exactly what this is. I don't know how to blame you yet. Here's one on toward body and away from body gestures. I put this sentence into Grok. Away from body. Tells someone what to do. Trust the science.
PsychoMath, what's happened, bro?
I got better at a lot of stuff. I have graphics.
You legitimately had an opportunity to help bring men back from hating women.
Well, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help people understand each other. We should hate some behaviors in ourselves and in others. And bird hands is one of the worst behaviors we have going right now. That's women talking down to men. It doesn't work. That's putting men in the position of children who need lectures. And that's bad, even if you're right, which you're usually not. Showing men how to recognize misbehavior and reject it is one of the keys to my success.
And instead, you're sowing misogyny among your base. You don't respect the people who respect you. And where does that lead you? On an empty pedestal that you know you didn't earn?
Wait a minute, who did all this?
Built on hate and bias and connections made out of completely illegitimate ideas you have.
Illegitimate? Ping Yang is going to be so upset.
To figure out how to solve women, but not to actually love them or care about them, but to reduce them to a power dynamic that you don't have to feel bad about missing out on?
I'm not going to make you sit through all that. Okay, I'll do one.
Does it make you hate us? It's your fault. What does it say about you and your platform and your followers that this was your biggest spike of engagement in months, King?
Well, one, it says I know how to get engagement, and it also says that I'm helping men understand female behavior. I help this guy recover from divorce. I help this guy see through the games. I help this guy learn from his failures. I made this guy see what he's doing wrong. I taught a Canadian liberal how to get respect from his wife. And it's all based on not letting women tell us what to think and how to feel, which means recognizing when they're doing it.
It's sad for you.
It's sad for whoever has to deal with this next. So, why did I spend 10 minutes replying to some saucy hater who should be grateful? It's because I want to provide holistic solutions to our problems at every level of thinking and through every perspective. And this is what that looks like, just to get started. If the problem is that relationships suck now, what this girl is saying is that the problem is me and my misogyny. But there are so many other problematic behaviors that come from men, and the beliefs and perceptions that they have to go along with it, the way that men think. And then there's the way that women think and their beliefs and behaviors that go along with it, like not wanting to take accountability for what you're doing, which is what this chick is exhibiting in her video. And all of that is taking place inside the context of a culture where we've lost religion and morals. We've had the rise of materialism, the breakdown of the family. We have mass media and education brainwashing. We have red pill content. We have the sisterhood. And all of those things are happening with the facilitation of things like the internet and the government writing laws that influence the way we live, that influence our families, like divorce court. It's in the context of the Me Too movement. We have abortion on demand, birth control on demand. We have the way that algorithms affect the culture and affect people's minds. When you look at it that way, it really seems pretty silly to just say that it's just misogyny. But when you try to bring this up to them, this is what you get.
How do you come to your conclusions?
Just ask Ping Yang. The entire point of bird hands is that I'm not going to be lectured to by some TikTok chick who probably thinks that food should be free, and who definitely thinks that sticking her fingers in my face while telling me how I feel
It's sad for you.
is somehow not desperate for control. And by the way, good luck finding a husband who doesn't mind that you're going to put the DMs on blast every time you have a feeling. So I'm going to continue to advise men to walk away from women like you who are combative and controlling. And I'm taking my own advice. I'm moving to the moon. You're a smart girl, I can see that, but you don't know anything yet. You don't understand society, you don't understand men, and you're listening to the wrong people. The sisterhood hates you and you don't even know it. A lot of girls don't get it yet that the sisterhood is mostly a bunch of fat, ugly skanks giving bad advice to decent women so you wreck your own life. On the other hand, women who listen to me, and you don't have to trust me on this, you can ask them, their lives get better. Here's one who gave me $100 just out of gratitude for my content. She says my videos have improved her understanding of herself, her motivations, her femininity. She has a deeper understanding of her marriage, her husband, her responsibilities and roles. And this is someone who was a millennial woman, raised in girl boss culture, who was the table, and says she is now finally free. Here's another one. She says, I wish more people would appreciate your insights instead of acting like you're saying hateful things.
Does it make you hate us?
Here's a thank you for helping her consider the male perspective. This one's my favorite. I understand my broken girl brain a little bit better because of you. We all have broken brains because we live in hell. I did a lot of work to fix mine, and I suggest that you start. Now, I know the idea of learning from me makes you uncomfortable, and that's good. That is what growing up feels like. It feels like, wait a minute, maybe part of the problem is something in my own mind or the cultures that I choose to be a part of. So that's why I spent the time on my snotty hater of the week. She knows that dating is broken. She knows women are a part of it. But even then, she still won't admit that her own attitude is one of the causes for the problem that is the cause of the behaviors that she wants men to stop. So sure, misogyny is one of the causes of the problem, but another cause is that you're being a bitch. Here's another tip. Before you accuse someone of hating women, check to see if they hate all women or just you. Here's a quick starter list of women I don't hate because their observable behavior has made my life better instead of worse. You could try that.
Okay. Teal Swan, Shoe on Head, I follow her. Rachel Wilson, I've seen her videos. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's been getting on the upswing as of recently. Best Friend Current, Pearl Davis, I've seen her videos. Sarah Stock, Marie Curry, why not? Both women who worked on my book. Leonardo Joni, a bunch of other Twitter accounts. TikTok chick who makes semi-tonal music. Mary Morgan, roughly 25% of my dating history. 3 to 4 of the girls in my DMs, depending on a few things. You? Yeah. So this is like most, if not, well, I say most women like to throw out these little quote unquote insults to guys who tries to put some boundaries or check them, show some level of standard, and they're like, oh, you must hate women. It's like, no. It's very contrary to popular belief. There are very, very small amount of guys who actually truly could be considered a misogynist, because they have to hate all women. They have to be not one woman they have to they cannot like. Full misogyny has to encompass every woman on planet Earth, no matter what the situation is. So that encompasses a very, 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 very small pool of men. Few of these girls on his list I actually enjoy. There's plenty of women in my family I really like. There's a handful of women I consider very good friends of mine. There's women that I work with that are very pleasant to be around. Yeah, there's plenty of women that's not on this list that I follow on social media that I thought is very engaging, very nice, and very pleasant, very intelligent. There is a wide range. Many men have that same thought processes as I do, as PsychoMath do. Men don't just hate women because they put standards on them or hold their feet to the fire. So you can't just throw that out there and like just so you can probably win an argument or something, because you do not want to look inward or do not want to look inward or be not held accountable. That's the biggest thing. They don't want to be held accountable, so they throw these words out like, "Oh, you must hate women," just so they don't have to, look inward and say like, "Oh, wow, I must have messed up," because it's a painful truth that you're not all sunshine and rainbows.
There's always room on the list. You could have watched bird hands and then stopped doing them. You could have stopped lecturing men like we are children who won't share the cookies. But instead of taking the feedback, you just did the meme. And that behavior makes us not like you, and we respond with behavior that you don't like. And the spiral continues downward. Bird hands was just me explaining to men how and why women nag and accuse and attack reputation and why they should avoid women who do that. And you responded by nagging, accusing, and attacking my reputation. So if you want men to stop hating women, you have more power than I do. Just stop doing that. Don't forget.
Yeah, it's just, no man hates women. That's another irritating thing society's been doing lately. It's just like, misusing the plural and the singular phrase, word of woman and women. But just because we point out stuff that we don't like about the female sex does not mean we hate women. We hate certain things that you do or certain things you might say. And just because we point that out does not mean hate you as a unit. Stop that. Guys don't get that way. We know when we point out like a certain fault about men, we inherently know that you're not referring to all men in a broad stroke of things. Sometimes you do, but we don't. That's not our knee-jerk reaction to the thing that you're talking about, all men. But it's like, yeah. This is like an amazing video. It's a shame I did not react to this video a lot sooner. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think about bird hands. And like I said before, if you see a woman doing that, please, if you know her, please tell her to not do that. That nobody likes that. It's very condescending body language. Or if you don't know her, and like you're on a date and you see her doing something like that, don't engage with her. Take that as like a media red flag. Or if you think she's okay enough, you can, and she's reasonable enough, you can let her know, like, hey, can you please not do that? Let me tell you why, so she can be aware, so that way she can move accordingly. But if she's not receptive, then you can just call it quits and move on with your life without her, because those things are annoying. This is annoying. Please do not do this, ladies. It is very annoying, very condescending, and it just does not paint you in the most positive light. You do not need anything else that will paint you negatively now, this day and age. You keep piling on. Please stop doing that. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Take care, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.